There are moments where we are completely, down in the dumps, and all of us are facing that, and it still happens. It's just over 2 years, and there are times that happens, but somehow we are able to pull ourselves out.
There are heroes that make the supreme sacrifice, and then there are heroes that brave the loss and what's left behind. These unsung warriors are the strength of our soldiers, and this Women's Day, we bring to you the stories of our Veer Naaris, an insight into what it takes to be a woman of strength and invincible spirit. Today, as we engage in a conversation with Mrs Sangeeta, wife of Major Akshay Girish, 51 Engineer Regiment of the Bengal Sappers, who made the supreme sacrifice in Nagrota, Jammu on 29th November 2016, we understand what it takes to be the wife of a hero.
I'm Sangeeta. I'm wife of Major Akshay Girish, who everyone knows now is a martyr, and he made the supreme sacrifice in Nagrota in 2016, 29th of November. And I am a Fauji wife, but before that I have been a Fauji child, so I have grown up in this environment, and I think that's in brief my introduction, and I think that in a nutshell sums it all up, being a Fauji kid as well as a Fauji wife, and I think I couldn't have asked for anything better than that. One thing that I distinctly remember him telling me when I got married to him was, my Fauj is a family, my unit is my family, and that is something that has remained with me always. And he used to always say, the more you give back, the better, or the more they give to you. You take it as your own family. You have two families back home, but where you are living, this is also one big family. So if you come with that perspective and that thought in your head, I think it will be very comfortable. So, okay, well, we met way back in 2003, somewhere around that time when I had finished school and he had finished school, was in NDA, first term of NDA. So we used to stay in National Games Village, Kormangla, and that's when he used to come and play basketball. So being from the Fauji background, I think that was one advantage, having common friends. So we met through our common friends. What do I say? I mean, he used to live life king size. That was his motto right from the beginning, right from the time I have met him. He always spread happiness, and he was always cheerful, smiling, all of that. So I think when you're spending time with a person of that sort, it rubs off on you over a period of time, and there was never a dull moment around him, I mean, it's very difficult to accept and understand that there may be a person of that kind, but that is how he was. At the back of my mind, I always had this, I want to get married to a Fauji, and if I do, I would want to be in the same environment. And it so happened that I met Akshay, and so I think it was a blessing in disguise when this happened. And I already knew that he was training to become an officer, and it was somewhere already there. I knew that he being from the Fauj, we will not be staying together for longer periods of time, and there'll be a lot of separation and everything. So there was never a worry. I don't think that thought crossed my head that I'm going to be away from him for long. It was just that as long as he was around me, the time that he was around me, it was a very beautiful experience. And the relationship was such, it was more of friendship and, than having that feeling or the possessiveness of maybe a relationship at that point. But I think it was just very beautiful. So I didn't have that fear at all. I think at this point in where I am in life right now, I think we are still taking baby steps, me and Naina and the rest of the family as well. All of us, I don't have words to express what we have experienced, and it is something that it has been just an experience, and we are still going through it. It's not that it's over, and it'll never be over for us. The institution has been extremely supportive in whichever way they can be, and like I said, it'll always be a part of us, whether Akshay is not around or, I mean, that has not made any difference, because those are the kind of relationships armed forces has helped us make. I think, like I said, it's all a big family even after you're out of it, and they have been there for each other throughout, and even today, any time that you call them, and that is the sort of equation that we have built over the years. I think what I have noticed after having come out of this and moved back into the civil, environment, a lot of people are aware now. I mean, in the civil street also, they are aware and they are empathetic to the fact that such an incident has happened. Recently, there's a road in Yelahanka which was named after Akshay, and there was a cab driver who, I think it was my sister-in-law's cab driver in the office cab, and he showed the picture to her and asked, where is this road? So, you can see the amount of pride that, that particular gesture gives you, and they share our pride in him, in soldiers, in the army, in the armed forces. It's just not Akshay. There have been so many in the past and so many after him who have done this, and the way they relate to you, the way they talk to you, the pride that they have in you as well as your spouse who has given up his life for the nation, it is something amazing to see. She has gained or gathered so much of this into herself that even till date, she remembers how it was in Jammu and, where we were. She talks about the color of the uniform. She's very patriotic in her own sense, For her, I think it comes very automatically, and that pride in the fact that her father is a national hero and he has sacrificed his life for a greater cause for the nation. I think she has taken it very well. More than all of us, I think her coping skills have been better, and she's able to bounce back and say things like, my papa is a star in the sky and he's the brightest star in the sky. So, I think it's been wonderful the way she has been able to cope with it, and it has come very naturally to her. And for us, for the rest of the family, I think we are all, like I said, we are still taking baby steps and getting there. First or the second movie that we watched together was Lakshya, and it was very close to his heart, and we would have watched it 100 times after that together. And whenever we would watch it, I could see that, the emotion in him. I could see that sentiment towards what he was. And I think there wasn't a better way to go than how he did for him. So that pride, that the fact that this is how it happened, I think that gives us a lot of strength. Being together as a family, I think we have held on very beautifully as a family, and we have given each other the support that we've needed, and all of us, like my parents, my in-laws, everybody, all of us have been together in this, and we understand what every person is going through, and I think that is something everybody is not privileged to get. That there are families who have gone through similar experiences but they're not together, but fortunately we have had that strength and support from each other. That has been a big help. That has been huge for us to, sort of come out of that phase where the phase that we were stuck in just after losing Akshay. So yeah, we are getting there. We are moving slowly, but I think Akshay is there. The feeling is that he's always around, and somehow the guiding light is always there. So that's how it is.